Welcome to episode 19 of The Lincolns. Well, Laura has now passed away, leaving Mike a widower. He's very shaken up by everything, and, well, that would be an understatement. He completely does not know what to do now. Well, Sue has been called at work and informed of the news, and she has rushed home right away. And, of course, Sue is devastated at the loss of her mother as well. It all came so suddenly while she was at work. But Mike and Sue comfort each other and remember Laura together. Now, one thing that they have to do is call the other family members. They already know, they were already told, but they are going to come over to pay their final last respects to Laura. In addition, by a sad coincidence, it is actually also Sue's birthday. Today is the day that she comes of age and becomes an adult. So it's sort of a combination. And as you can see, Lucy is extremely sad. I've always thought that Lucy was the closest of all three daughters to her mother, and especially being pregnant, I'm sure her her emotions are all over the place. And Amanda also dearly loved her mother, and she's sad and even a little bit angry, it seems. Yes, they've all come to pay their final respects. And Sue comes out to give her sister a hug to show their support. But anyway, it's getting time for Sue's birthday. And Mike wants to put a strong face on and say, Sue, we still need to celebrate your birthday no matter what has happened here. This is a day for you to enter the adult world. So, trying to put aside their sorrow for the minute, Mike and Amanda come up to support Sue as she reaches that age transition on the same spot that her sisters did so many years ago. She's blown out her cake. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Sue has reached adulthood. And with it, all three of the Lincoln sisters are now adults. Sue is in full adult mode. And not only that, but her job called and said, now that you're an adult, we like you so much, we're going to give you a higher position in our company. So already Sue is getting further ahead in her career than most adults are her age, because most adults are just starting out, but Sue is up to the 4th rung already. Well, Sue needs to, after everything that's happened, she wants to relax a little bit to a computer game to try to take her mind off everything. And that's something that isn't too unreasonable, I think. And Amanda was mourning her mother for a little bit before she went home. Unfortunately, Lucy and Puck couldn't stay for the wedding, or for the birthday, because they were just too unhappy But at least Amanda stayed to show her support. Well, now Sue is going to bed, and we move forward into the next day. Yes, I'm sure it's very strange for Mike to be sleeping in that big bed alone. And he has to know by now that he doesn't have too much time left. It's going to be weird getting used to Sue wearing adult clothes. Same pajamas that her sisters once wore. Now the two of them sit down to breakfast before Sue's carpool leaves. And Sue is very reluctant. She says, "I don't want to go. I want to stay with you, Dad." Because Sue doesn't know how much time she'll be able to spend with her dad. But her dad says, "Sue, you need to go and begin your first day at your new job. I know that you're going to have a bright future there. I'll still be here when you come back, Sue. I promise." So, Sue and Mike talk just a little bit more before Sue hugs him goodbye and changes into her clothes. She must begin her new job today. And she's trying to keep her mind on the goal. And oh look, she has a nice car finally, no longer riding around in that bucket of rust. Well, Sue suggested that Mike get some company while she was out, so Mike decides to call his grandson James. Poor George is probably too young to really understand what's going on, but James is old enough to understand that he needs to keep his grandfather company under the circumstances. So, Mike invites little James back into the pool. It's probably the first time that James has ever gotten to swim in a pool. And he takes to it quite nicely. Yes, Mike is not quite as sure of himself as he was when he was a little bit younger, and his fitness has eroded into flabbiness, unfortunately. But he still enjoys a good swim, as grandfather and grandson spend some quality time together. Hopefully, spending time with Mike will give James some valuable memories that he can keep for the rest of his life. Well, Mike's a little tired, so he's going to get some sleep. So into the bed he goes for a nap. And pretty soon, or a little bit later, he decides, enough napping time. Time to get up and get dressed. Because it won't be long before Sue is back from her first day of work, and Mike is anxious to hear how it went. In the meantime, he starts to take up drawing, a hobby that he has not done for some time. So he says, give it another try. And now, Sue is home from work. The day has gone well. The bosses are happy with her performance. So she embraces her father, and he asks her how it went. And Sue, for once, is thinking about the good things, about how well her job is going, how much she likes it. And Mike says, "I know you're going to go far, Sue." And their conversation changes after a few minutes. They start talking about the broader things. Mike says that he's not so afraid of death, and now that Laura is gone, he's looking forward to going to meet her. But he also says that he had to hold on just a little bit longer to watch Sue grow up. And he says watching Sue grow and mature has been the most proud moment that he's ever had. And he also tells her that he doesn't have any regrets in life, other than the fact that he thinks he might have focused a little bit too much on his career and not spent as much time with his family as he would have. But Sue assures him that he was the perfect father. Well, we've gotten to 6 o'clock, which means that Mike can survive for another day. But that brings us to the end of this episode, so I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see everyone again soon.